There's no limit to what God can teach you if you will be willing to unlearn some models and thoughts and issues and perhaps lies that you have been told. So unlearning is as important for a disciple as learning new things. I don't know that you can learn a new truth without unlearning what you've been clinging to, what you've been holding on to. So to be a better leader is simply to be a better person. I had a dream 2 nights ago about, I was teaching on the fruit of the Spirit. I think that's the Lord showing me what I'm to speak on in this church I'm going to speak at on Sunday. I'm going to be sharing about the fruit of the Spirit. Thank God he showed me in a dream. But in the dream, I was teaching on the fruit of the Spirit, and people were being blessed. They were being touched. And I think the more we walk in love, joy, peace, gentleness, patience, kindness, where is that? How about meekness? You know, anytime I post on social media about meekness, I have everybody saying, yes, but it's not that, it's this. Why don't you just let it sit in your heart? Meekness, just meekness. You don't need to, you know what it is. It's humility, it's gentleness. Praus, P-R-A-U-S, the Greek word. To be gentle, to be patient, to reflect Jesus with a fruitful life. He has called us to be living branches that bear his fruit. So better people become better leaders. Leadership calling is a personal development. Leadership mantle is becoming a better person. To be when I say better, I mean, you know, we can't change, a leopard can't change its spots, right? But we can yield more to Holy Spirit and thus become a better example of a leader. So let God do these things in your heart. And the best leaders are not those that take charge, but intimate lovers. The best leaders are intimate lovers who listen daily to the voice of Holy Spirit. I'm going to say this again. The best leaders are not the alpha guys that take charge of everything. And man, I know the leader like that. I've been on the platform with him. And there's no way you could be his friend, because in every relationship, he's going to take charge. He's not going to listen. He's going to tell you. And I think that leadership model stinks. I think it is so archaic. It's so 1980s. It's absolutely not what Gen Z, this empathetic generation, is looking for. It's not what millennials are looking for. Even Gen X. And I know boomers are stuck in it. But I've officially turned in my card, and I transferred my membership to Gen Z, all right? Because I am in that generation. I want to run with these wild ones that are empathetic, tender, kind, that put mercy above judgment, that understand God's heart of love and his goodness that can never be dimmed. That's the generation I'm going to run with. So, sorry about my phone. It's speaking in tongues over here. I'm going to say it again. The best leaders are not those skilled at taking charge, but intimate lovers of God who listen daily to his voice and do what he says. So let me give you the challenge. Here's the challenge on our first day that I want to get to you. There's so much more we're going to share over the next 5 days, and I want you to tune in or watch the replay of every single day. Especially when we get to day 5, we're going to open it up for Q&A and discussion about leadership models. But to summarize, the archaic, structured, all about one man or one woman's gifts leadership model is over. Celebrity Christianity has officially ended, and it's no longer going to breathe life into God's people. There's a new leadership rising with a new model. You know, people talk about the new wineskin. The new wineskin is the heart. It's not a bylaws and a constitution of a church. the new wineskin is a heart that carries the new wine. And when you get 10, 20, 500 people with hearts carrying new wine, you're going to bring the kingdom to the earth, revival to your city, and transformation to the bride. So it's important that our heart becomes the focus of our leadership. Keep your heart with all diligence, Solomon writes. I mean, we can go on and on from the Proverbs of what he says about the heart. Jesus says it's out of your heart that comes either good or bad. So our heart is the most important feature of our leadership calling. So here's the challenge. I talked to you about leadership wounds. I want you to take a piece of paper and I want you to have two columns. And on one side of the paper, I want you to write down every leader that has hurt you. And may the Holy Spirit unveil this to you, because you can't get healed if you don't acknowledge the hurt. Now, some of you, it's simple. I mean, you think of the name already, the church that did this to you. But I want you to make a column of any leader from childhood. I think of a coach that wounded me in sophomore year of high school, really knocked me out of athletics because of one thing he said to me. And I ended up turning to a different crowd, got into drugs, et cetera, et cetera. I'm not going to blame him for all my flaws, but and I have been healed of that. But it was a wound that I carried until I became more of an adult, and I realized that I was letting his words trump what God said about me. So put that list down. Make a list on one column, every leader, family, school, education, ministry, career. Put them down. On the other side of the column of the page, I want you to write all the leaders that have blessed you, that have impacted you for good. They may be a Sunday school teacher. I think of, my wife's Aunt Mildred. Candace and I went to the same grammar school. So we grew up together, and her family knew my family. And I remember in Sunday school, I was the wildest, rowdiest. You would not want me in your Sunday school class. I'll just put it that way. But I remember Aunt Mildred. And Aunt Mildred was a Sunday school teacher. And I still remember her patience and the strength, because she had to be stronger than me or I would have run the class with my stupidity. She was strong, and she put me in my place and made me listen and made me learn in Sunday school as a kid. I still remember that. So I put Aunt Mildred over there on one of my page. I would put Jim Ostewig and Bill Kaminsky. I would put their names. They were Bible college instructors that believed in me, that stood with me even when I was wrong, when I would make mistakes and had wrong opinions. They came to me and helped me, put their arm around me, said, Brian, you're better than this. I think of Gustafson, who was a Bible translator that taught me Bible translation. He believed in me. He wanted me to go to the jungle and help translate the Bible, which I did. And in part because of a leader who blessed me, who believed in me. And then I've had great elders as a pastor. I surrounded myself with wonderful leaders that I'm still in fellowship with, some of them. One of them's actually coming to our house in a few days. So even though I don't pastor any longer, but I remember their blessing and their gift. I think of so many leaders that have blessed me. My list would be really long on that blessing side, although I would have to be honest and put on the wounded side some of the names. So here's the deal. After you do that, make the list. I want you to go back every single person, and I want you to speak the word blessing over them, that I bless you. I forgive you. On that one side of the column, say it out loud. I forgive you and I bless you. And on the other side of the column, as you go down that list, say, thank you. And I bless you for what you did in my life. Thank you. And with some of them, you might want to write a letter. You might even want to write a note and say, thank you for the way you blessed my life. So that is the way we start. We realize that we're here as the result of other people's influence, good and bad. And we purge our hearts from what has marred us. And we celebrate with gratitude those blessings and influences from the people that were good, just good examples to us. Is that all right, guys? I want you to do that and make sure you do that by tomorrow. So that's challenge number 1. You're going to be healed of your leadership wounds.